A 12-year-old girl from the US collects shoe boxes for children in Syria. A Malaysian care recipient turns optimistic after receiving love and care from the volunteers. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Simon Gan. Thank you for joining us. A couple of US Tzu Chi volunteers have been visiting the stores in Monrovia once every 3 months for 5 years. On this day, they met a 12-year-old girl who helped Tzu Chi collect shoe boxes for the children in Syria. She also brought her family to volunteer with her. Her dedication to the charitable work has moved many people.
Visiting local shops, Vincent Chen and Berlinda Lin have been active Tzu Chi volunteers for 5 years. On this day, they met a store owner's daughter, Eva, who has prepared dozens of shoe boxes for Tzu Chi, which she collected with her parents.
那伊凡呢，她是知道我们要去帮助这个叙利亚的孩子。
Eva knows that we are here to help the children in Syria, so she and her parents went to many stores, collecting dozens of shoe boxes for about $5 each.
Eva has become a Tzu Shao. After attending the Buddha Day ceremony in May, she often brings her family to do volunteer work with her. At the fresh produce distribution venue, Eva's grandmother speaks fluent Spanish.
Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Her grandmother can speak Spanish. If we have any opportunity in the future, we would like to invite her to be our Spanish interpreter.
At the conclusion ceremony of the volunteer training session, Eva shares her own experience on how she collects shoe boxes from others.
I don't know how to explain it, but I just felt relaxed and calm, and I felt so happy because I could help people. And just the energy there, it just really made me special.
Since Eva's family joined Tzu Chi, many volunteers have also been inspired to join the volunteer effort.
The thing what Eva's family did moves me deeply, just as Master Zhen Yan said. With a determined heart, they will no longer be difficult. We just keep on doing the right thing.
We really have to get out there, spreading the message to those stores. And never underestimate our efforts. There will be huge impacts of what we do. Through spreading the message of love and kindness, the community becomes more harmonious and beautiful.
This is the 5th year for the Mustard Seed Mission to organize the charity art exhibition. There are 11 artists who donated their artworks. One painter, Chai Rui Shan, who has participated in the charity sale for 5 consecutive years, donated 2 paintings this time to help the disadvantaged.
Imitation linen was put at the bottom, then applied colors.
Explaining the painting process precisely, the painter Cai Ru San presented the living of a tribe in Nanshan with watercolor pens. In this charity art exhibition, he has donated 2 paintings, hoping to help the disadvantaged.
The power of a painter is very little, yet through this kind of event, we can motivate the bosses in the business community to donate.
Similarly, expressing her feelings in the artworks, the painter Chen Peiyu realized the importance of companionship while serving as a community volunteer.
We human beings need to be accompanied. Although I don't know what the true companionship is, I like to express it in my paintings.
This is the 5th year for the Mustard Seed Mission to organize the charity art exhibition. This time, the theme is the beauty and goodness of our hometown, allowing the caregivers and the care recipients to form a cycle of goodness in the community.
We want to connect our hometown and community together, so when we look at someone with love, we could discover his needs and then we can respond to it.
This year, there are 11 local painters who donated a total of 20 artworks. The exhibition will last until 13th of October. The public is invited to visit the exhibition and purchase the artworks, hoping to make contribution to the disadvantaged groups in Taiwan.
During the long vacation in early October, volunteers in Suzhou and Wuxi hosted a mountain cleanup activity to encourage members of the public to clean up the mountain while hiking.
During the consecutive holiday in early October, Tzu Chi volunteers in Suzhou motivated 120 people to clean the mountain together. Being divided into 10 groups, they pick up garbage while hiking.
I think that cleaning the mountain during this long holiday can not only raise environmental awareness of the public, but also train my body and spirit, improving my physical and mental health.
Volunteers went all the way along the trail, including wide grass and steep slopes, to pick up those which did not belong to the mountain.
Most of the families chose to travel somewhere during this long holiday, but I have decided to spend my holiday with my kid joining this mountain cleaning event, which I think is more meaningful. Although I'm exhausted, I still insist on climbing up to set a good example for my kid.
Apart from cleaning the mountain, the young volunteers also advocate environmental awareness to the public.
Although I'm very tired, I think it's very interesting to let more people understand the importance of environmental protection.
Meanwhile, the Ecological Environment Bureau in Wuxi has sought the assistance from enterprises and non-government organizations to host a mountain cleanup activity.
We hope to restore the original state of the natural environment by our proactive behavior.
There are many recyclables in the mountain, while down the hill, the things are mainly living trash. They are not recyclable.
Volunteers let everyone to sort recyclables while picking up the garbage, so that such good habit can also be implemented at home.
Many Tzu Chi volunteers who are entrepreneurs and store owners in Indonesia are now encouraging their employees to have a better knowledge of recycling. Together, Tzu Chi and local companies launched a campaign at the local eco park in Cikarang, promoting the importance of recycling.
Tzu Chi promotes the importance of recycling at the crowded eco park with the help of local companies.
There are a total of 13 villages in our industrial zone of Jabebeka. We want to advocate the knowledge of environmental protection to our villagers.
Tzu Chi workers set up booths in the park demonstrating the correct way to do recycling.
We have to be aware of our own plastic consumption, as I see people tend to purchase plastic water bottles for convenience instead of carrying their own water bottles.
Gu Niang, who is a store owner and a local Tzu Chi volunteer, was initially inspired by DaAi news program and is now doing recycling with his employees.
Out of convenience, we used to burn all the invoices. Later on, I felt bad for doing it, since I learned that it will cause air pollution.
One time when Tzu Chi held a free clinic in Cikarang, I became a Tzu Chi volunteer. Since then, whenever Tzu Chi held events in Cikarang, I always showed up.
Each employee is now more eco-friendly, bringing the correct knowledge and habit of recycling back to their families.
Tzu Chi Pontian Liaison Office in Malaysia has started a basket weaving class, making baskets from recycled materials such as plastic shopping bags. Many of the local residents enjoy the class so much that they have told their friends, and the class is gaining popularity.
Using plastic bags as material, local residents are learning how to make baskets without spending any money on material fee.
I'm so glad to learn how to do this out of recyclable material. I've learned a lot, and I've been here since the beginning. I haven't completed a project yet, but it's getting there.
It's great to use recyclable materials. It's creative and putting waste items to good use.
From August of this year, Pontian Liaison Office began teaching Jingsi basket weaving class.
It's spread by word of mouth, from not knowing how to make it to now being quite good at it. They often invite their friends to learn how to make it.
Meanwhile, at Patron High School, volunteers and local residents are sorting recyclables, with the volunteers looking for parts to use in the basket weaving class.
I am taking apart these bags and salvaging them for parts. So when we make the handcraft, the parts could be reused. It's good to save them for when we have class, because we can all learn to recycle more.
The morning of sorting recyclables has the volunteers sweating, but they feel good to have done their parts. Thinking of ways to reduce the impact of plastics on the planet, The volunteers do their best to promote environmentalism while advocating less consumption of goods to reduce garbage pileup.
In Sabah, Malaysia, there's a Tzu Chi recipient who suffers from congenital vascular disease, causing necrosis of his foot. After undergoing amputation on his leg, he once felt hopeless in his life. Thankfully, with the love and care of volunteers, he has become more optimistic now and also donated some money to help other less fortunate people.
Walking over the bridge carefully, team of volunteers have come to the home of care recipients Harun. Harun suffers from congenital vascular disease. He has been forced to undergo leg amputation due to foot necrosis.
When I came to his home for the first time, he was sitting on the floor. He said he could only move around in the living room. He also said that if he did not meet Tzu Chi, he would take each day as it came and feel hopeless. He said he had visited a doctor. As he still owed a medical bill, he dared not go to the hospital to receive treatment.
I remember it was in 2015 when he first came. Later, in 2016, when he visited our free clinic again, his toes were necrotic. At that time, we sent Harun to the hospital for our surgery.
When the doctor was going to amputate his leg, he cooperated well with the doctor, from having his foot long time ago until losing it now. He saw deterioration of his leg, so he dared not to delay the treatment.
Tima doctors help Harun clean his wounds regularly so as to ensure his wounds will not be infected after surgery. Harun was originally the breadwinner of his family, but after amputation, his wife shoulders the responsibility for him.
Harun's wife worked 2 days a week. Her daily wage is 20 Malaysian ringgits, so she can earn 40 ringgits a week.
Besides providing them with financial assistance, Tzu Chi has also mobilized volunteers to help them repair their home. Volunteers have accompanied them for a long time and they celebrate holidays together as if they were family members.
Before, he was not able to walk, but now he is very happy because he can walk to visit us.
Cherishing his opportunities to stand up again, now Harun has a smile on his face and becomes someone who can help other people in need.
Sometimes I may donate 20 ringgits, while other times 50 ringgits. It depends on my wife's income. If she has more income, then we will donate more.
During the course of 4 years, the volunteers have witnessed the changes of Harun's life.
Tzu Chi volunteer Li Shixiong was forced to shoulder the financial burden of his family after his parents' divorce. After he got married, his wife invited him to join Tzu Chi, but he was not interested in the beginning. It wasn't until he witnessed people who live a more difficult life than him did he start to cherish his own blessings and engage in Tzu Chi activities. Follow our report as we learn more about his story.
Tzu Chi volunteer Li Zeshong accompanies care recipient Harun mindfully. In the beginning, he was very resistant to participating in Tzu Chi activities.
I remember once we went to visit him. We waited for him outside his room, but he insisted on not coming out and ignored us. So eventually we gave up.
When he first joined Tzu Chi, he liked to stay here only for a while.
He didn't like to participate in some of the Tzu Chi activities. When I invited him to attend classes, most of the time he would refuse me. He said, "The concrete is here. You can go by yourself if you want."
continuous invitations and his wife's persistence, Li Seshong started to change himself in 2016.
Later, he came back to Taiwan for Tzu Chi's 50th anniversary. He looked different when he returned, and he was really involved in Tzu Chi's activities.
At first, I joined voluntary work, such as visiting some care recipients along with Tzu Chi's sisters. After I found they lived a more difficult life than me, I felt I was fortunate.
Before, he didn't usually speak good words and was an unreasonable person.
Through the acts of giving, Li Seshong not only got rid of his bad habits, but enjoys helping other people in need.
My aunt saw my change after I joined Tzu Chi, so she also gradually engaged in Tzu Chi.
Li Seshong and his wife persist in doing the right thing, and they hope to walk the Bodhisattva path together.
TIMA members in the Northern District pay regular visits to Kinmen twice every year, no matter how bad the weather is. This time, a total of 78 TIMA members and volunteers held a free clinic at an elder care center in Kinmen.
Tima's North District hosts a free clinic, no matter how bad the weather is, at Kinmen's runs every 6 months.
Most of our seniors are in wheelchairs or have mobility issues. Therefore, it is less convenient for them to go out for medical treatment. With your service, everyone is happy.
I'm very happy. If I go to the hospital by myself, I have to spend a whole day as I don't have a car.
As medical resources are lacking in outlying islands, TIMA doctors have called for dentistry, ophthalmology, family medicine, and other specialties to join.
Many of them have chronic diseases, for example, hypertension, diabetes, and others. We have to evaluate the physical condition of the seniors first. If the senior has no special issues in his body, it should be fine. Otherwise, if the current condition of the senior is not appropriate to do the treatment, we should notify the dentist.
When a senior seeks medical consultation, he must have someone to go with him and care for him. He may even need a nurse. If we can come here, we can alleviate the discomfort of the senior and reduce the pressure on some officials.
I think the volunteers are very considerate. Apart from caring for the senior's body, they also help care for the senior's psychological conditions and make adjustments. Since some seniors are very nervous when receiving medical treatment, for example, they cannot open their mouths, but the volunteers enthusiastically help.
Elder care centers often provide special care in the community as TIMA works hard to accomplish its mission of love.
It is difficult for the senior residents in elder care center in Hsinchu to go out for medical treatment. TIMA dentists and volunteers went there to provide teeth cleaning to 47 senior residents. Let's take a look.
Many people may have the fear of teeth cleaning. TIMA doctors go to the elder care center to serve the elderly with comfort.
The seniors we served this time didn't have teeth cleaning for more than a year. His dentures were already stuck to his gum. When the dentist cleaned his teeth, he was very nervous and his hands and feet were trembling. We soothed him by putting our hand on his and patted slightly. Then his tremble slowly decreased.
I'm very touched seeing these TIMA members take care of the elderly wholeheartedly. I also want to have such kind people to take care of my parents when they grow older.
We found that the teeth of some senior residents have gradually fallen. They even had bad habits at their younger ages, so this worried us. In fact, it's really difficult for the seniors to go out for medical treatment. I'm very touched to see as dentists come in person to serve them.
The Rotary Club has set a good example by donating medical and auxiliary equipment to the elder care center.
We can meet the needs of this institute. We can even raise some funds. Other Rotary Club members and even other enterprises can also make donation together.
Oral health care is an important issue of physical health. TIMA works with the Rotary Club to safeguard seniors' oral health.
Next, we meet an outstanding educator from Hualien, Lin Bixia, principal of Fengping Primary School, with the experimental course of teaching the students about Amis culture. She also designed a school curriculum to help instill tribal values in the younger generation. This year, she won the recognition of being an outstanding educator for over 40 years. Let's take a look at her unique school.
Visiting the great outdoors to gather their materials, Fengping Primary School students are finding driftwood and using yarn to make and decorate a holiday tree. This is parts of the unique coursework of the school.
这个地方长满了银水胶，所以这个地方就是那个生长银水胶的地方，保供。基隆它算是那个圣山。
Promoting Amis culture, Fengping Primary School principal Lin Bixia has the students hiking sacred mountains in the months of February, March, and April, with May and June celebrating Harvest Festival. September and October are saved for stories about ancestors, while November, December, and January are for making brooms and other festivities to accompany the Lunar New Year.
The four major lessons are 1. 1,000-year stories, 2. Creativity with Fangkong, 3. Silangsang Sacred Mountain, 4. It is in harvest season. The 4 lessons are told according to the month and follow the timeline of nature. In this way, we are nurturing the young ones in real Amis culture.
Besides teaching them the native language, stories passed down from generations comes alive through the children's drawings. The teachers of the school are also united in passing on the Amis culture.
The students learn from their life, their surroundings to explore. Their knowledge are no longer strictly from textbooks or theoretical things. Instead, they are learning about their own culture. With this foundational knowledge of their own tribal background, it can be a great confidence booster in the community.
Combining the ancestral wisdom with Mother Nature's timeline, Principal Lin designed the curriculum herself with vigor and determination.
I was at the age of retirement and I thought about it. But then the experimental educational policy passed and it rekindled my spirit. There are a lot of Amis in Taiwan, which I am a part of, yet there wasn't a tribal school for us. Why not I start one?
She wakes up each morning at 6 to drive an hour to school. But at 60-some years of age, Lin does not find it tiring, as she's been dedicated to teaching for the past 40 years, and her determination to cultivate confidence and competitive students from the tribal background has finally come to fruition.
Volunteers from Selangor, Malaysia went to an insurance company to promote recycling and the effects of human actions onto Mother Nature. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and goodbye.